Oh, we did? Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. No, we're just gonna like start like right now. Like right now.
No, welcome. Hi, hello. Heart, don't fail me now. Courage, don't desert me. Don't turn back now that we're here. People always say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions fear or how a world can seem so vast on a journey to the past. Somewhere down this road, I know someone's waiting. Years of dreams just can't be wrong. Arms will open wide, I'll be safe and wanted. Finally home where I belong. Well, starting now, I'm learning fast on this journey to the past. Home, love, family. There was once a time I must have had them too. Home, love, family. I will never be complete until I find you. One step at a time, one hope then another. Who knows where this road may go? Back to who I was, on to find my future. Things my heart still needs to know. Yes, let this be a sign. Let this road be mine. Let it lead me to my past and bring me home at last.
Aurora Jenkins, wow. And David Tostine. Aurora, thank you. And thank you, David. Magnificent. She's one of my new loves, huh? I don't usually start with a commercial, but I'm going to this evening. David is the musical director at the Barclay Performing Arts School in Boca. And I got to hear their production Sunday evening, which David plays and also sings. And that's where I heard Aurora. And so the show that they're doing is called Spoonful of Sherman. And it is the most charming, magnificent production. They're doing one more performance on Saturday evening at 8 o'clock. If you can squeeze into that little theater, I'm telling you, it is magnificent. But I will not give up until I get that production here. Yes? So we're going to figure out how to do that. But anyway, good evening. Welcome. Welcome to Burning Bowl 2024. going into 2025. I love seeing people come to this particular observance because I get to see people that I don't see any other time of year. And I love that. You know, we have our Burning Bowl contingent, and it's just great. And I'm so grateful that we have this here. Some of you know, I decided after doing decades of Burning Bowls that in 2013, I shared this on Sunday, 2013, I decided that I was done with the Burning Bowl ritual. I would not do that anymore. And then in March of 2014, I was hired as the senior minister here at Unity of the Palm Beaches. And of course, since then, I've been doing Burning Bowls. So I've gained a real new, deep appreciation for this ritual. How many here have never been to a burning bowl? Raise your hand high. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Good. Okay, I will keep that as mine. It's a process evening. It is not an evening for, you'll be happy to know this, not an evening for a sermon. I won't say a lot, though I will just kind of guide you into the process, but it's an internal experience. And so there are two sections of it, and I'll try to be as clear as I can about the instructions into that. A lot of you have done this probably many times, so you probably walked in already with a sense of how you want to do those processes for yourself, but allow for maybe a surprise. Maybe you think you know what you're going to release. Allow for a surprise. Maybe that's not what it is. And, you know, I always refer to our holiday trifecta here at Unity of the Palm Beaches. So last week we had our Christmas Eve service, which was mostly music, and it was absolutely spectacular. They were so wonderful. Tonight, our Burning Bowl observance. And then this coming Sunday, the third in the trifecta, is called the White Stone Ceremony. So if you're not familiar with the White Stone, I wasn't familiar when I came here, so the very first White Stone I ever did, I led. At first I was a little bit like, but I have grown to absolutely love that, so that will be this Sunday at 11 a.m. at that service. But for now, we're here. We're here for our Burning Bowl observance. Had a little bit of rain out there, did you notice? However, our fire is going thanks to Bruce Malinowski. He's probably out there tending to that fire right now. He and his life partner, Ellen, have produced this evening's event, so we thank them so much for that. Thank you. So we're going to begin with a prayer, and we're going to have our inside fire lit by chaplain Mimi Breyer, and she's going to light our, what we call here in Unity, our Christ candle, and then we will do our prayer. Thank you, Mimi. So just begin to breathe as you see her light that candle, and as we've talked about in our other observances, we'll continue to talk about during this time of still Christmas candles, Hanukkah candles, Kwanzaa candles, all of those, thank you, Mimi. That's all representative of a light that is within each and every one of us. That's not, at least for me, that's not just words. That's not conceptual. That is literal. We have a photon, if you will, of light in every single cell of our bodies. And it is something that as we focus in to the center of our being, as we focus into the truth of our being, at a higher level of consciousness, we know we can actually measure that those photons, those light particles, quicken. And so literally, our light begins to shine more brightly. So let's do that together. If you want, you can close your eyes. I choose to. You may not. That's okay. And as we breathe consciously, we bring our attention into our heart space. We feel the breath. We feel the possibility of gathering here at the end of one calendar year, heading towards the beginning of another. We know those dates, the counting of years, is arbitrary, but it's something that we give meaning to as a portal for awakening, as a portal for an expansion, a cooperation in the emergence of the soul. We dedicate this evening to the light that is within us, to the fire as it purifies, as it guides us forward into a new year. We are grateful to be here, grateful to be together, and so it is. Amen. So everyone should have, we spare no expense here at Unity of the Palm Beaches. So I know that you will be tempted to take these pencils. Do not. We pay a lot of money for these. We had to buy a putt-putt franchise to get these little pencils. But you should have gotten a pencil and a slip of paper. And as we enter into our first part of this evening's ritual, my goal for this evening is to facilitate this and to also stay out of your way as much as possible. So for those of you who have not participated in a burning bowl, this is the opportunity. We're going to take some quiet time this evening. There will be expanses of time where you just can be with yourself, with your interior being, be in the process, allow the process to happen within you. Rather than thinking that you're going to do the process, I would invite you into an awareness that there is a process emerging within you. Just by being here, you're participating, and you're participating in something bigger than the personality self, something far vaster, if you will, than the surface mind that thinks it's going to decide what it needs to get rid of. There are things that we may want to release, which is the first part of our observance. So this is an inner inquiry into, and I'm not going to give you too many suggestions because I, again, don't want to taint your experience, but there perhaps are things that you perceive or that you will be shown are holding you back from your fullest expression. So that can be perceptual, it can be behavioral, all sorts of things can arise for you. But I think what I most want to stress about it is that the way in which you hold this process, the container in which you engage this, I believe is the most important part of this entire evening. So if there are things that you want to release, things that you perceive are holding you back in some way, things that perhaps, I'm always mindful, because I've been doing this a long time, that there are things that people put into the burning bowl year after year after year, and it's just a part of the process, right? And I believe that that's largely because of, again, the container in which we engage this process. So I would offer to you that everything about us, everything that we may feel torments us, everything that we may feel are our greatest gift, everything is adaptive intelligence. So the things that you may feel like are holding you back, the things where you feel like you're bound in some way, is still an adaptive form of intelligence that has served you. Are you with me? it has served you. So it's not like there are faulty things about you that you need to get rid of and cast into the fire. No, there are things that now perhaps you have evolved in such a way as a result of those things. They've been a part of the journey. So their intelligence, they are adaptive, and now maybe tonight, now is a time when you become ready to release those things, to let those things first be and then let them go. So the friendly container that I invite you into, I believe, is what transforms those things. Not, I've got to get rid of this. I hate this about myself. I don't need to be engaging in this anymore. I blah, 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 blah. You know, anybody have any blah, 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 blah? I don't know how to spell it, but. So you're not getting rid of anything. Perhaps you're shifting your relationship to it, right? And maybe miraculously that thing will just fall. And maybe you'll get up tomorrow and go, damn, Taylor, I still got this. It's okay. Like, go like this. It's okay. Everything about you is intelligent and brilliant and serves your soul. And if you feel bound by something, maybe you write that down this evening, and then you lovingly, and this is, I think I've offered this to you, and this is what I would do if I were going out there. I'm not going to, but this is what I would do. You hear me? God, you have served me. You have served me. And now I let you go. Are you with me? Can you feel that? So that it's a friendly, gentle, lovely experience. So we're going to take some time and You probably, a lot of you already know what you want to write. Don't peek at other people's papers. You hear me? I see you all clumped together. Don't you be peeking at nobody else's paper. That's breaking the rules, and I'm going to watch. But we're going to add a little element that we've never added before, because this is the first time in decades and decades that this has happened. I'm going to jump just slightly ahead to the second process with a purpose. This is the first time that, in my experience, that we have gotten the letters. If you know the processes, you know that a letter is involved in the second part of this this evening. So the letter was returned to sender. Because the person's no longer here. And so probably the person, in my experience, that loved their burning bowl the most and actually led it before I got here was Pat Russo. And so we got Pat's letter back because she's no longer on the planet. So when you're ready, when you've written your things, you'll go out this side door. Jennifer's going to help lead everyone out the side door. When you're ready, you'll go out, you'll put your paper into the fire, and you'll come back in the back. We're going to wait, if you will. Linda Culbertson, dear friend of Pat's, will come up and get this from me, and she's going to place this in the fire first. And that flame is going to go whee. So that will be something that we're adding this year in memory of our beloved Pat. So again, we're going to have probably 10 minutes or so of quiet where you have an opportunity to, in a very gentle, tender, beautiful way, ask what is in need of release at this point in your journey, lovingly. Write it down. And then after Linda, raise your hand, honey. There you go. After Linda has gone, then in whatever order, just when you feel ready, go out the side door, place your paper in the fire, if you don't feel too silly, and then come back in, and we'll do the second part of our process. Clear? Everybody clear? You got that? Okay. Okay. When you feel ready, you can file forward out that side door, past the burning bowl, and then back into the back doors. Take your time if you still need time. All right. How are you feeling? Are you feeling? Lighter? Many people, I think, at least inadvertently come to this type of a community to feel good. And that's great. I would offer to you that we gather to collectively support each other in getting really good at feeling. Did you catch that difference? Because when you get good at feeling, then you can allow everything to move through you. There's no enemies. Discomfort is a friend. It is important data. And so then we feel good because, you know what? We're really good at allowing feeling. So how do you feel? Good. Just check into your body. Yeah. Energized, lighter. Yes? Okay. So the second part of the process, and of course many of you know this, in some circles this is called a letter to God. First of all, does everyone have paper and an envelope? Did you all get that? And did you all keep the important pencil that you were, okay. So there's a number of ways to do this letter. You cannot do it incorrectly. Just let's start off with that. There's no right or wrong here. It's a process. And just trust that something is going to flow through you or nothing. That's okay too. But as I said, many people will call this a letter to God, a letter to the higher self. This is a letter that you're going to write to yourself. And again, I would say, don't be looking at other people's letters. Really, give yourself some space if you need to and some privacy, because this is a letter, your soul is going to write this letter. And I would say this is one way to frame it. Your soul is going to write this letter to your personality self. One way to look at it, and way many people think of this, is that you write a letter. And if you choose, you're going to get this letter back at the end of 2025. If you elect to, you're going to put your correct, legible address on the envelope. You leave it at the back, and then our beautiful executive director, Diane, will mail these to you, and you will receive it after Thanksgiving. You do it sometime after Thanksgiving, and you'll get your letter, and you'll have the opportunity to open your letter and then see what you wrote to yourself tonight, in terms of another framing of it, of how you want to spend 2025. So you're going to, I would say, write it from the perspective of what you will feel like, what you will do, how you will be, what you will accomplish. You can put all of that in there, but when you read it, you're going to say, after Thanksgiving, wow, I lived my letter. Are you clear about that? So again, you're writing it from a perspective of complete, absolute tenderness, gentleness, love, and acceptance, right? And some of the things you may write on here, and we're human beings. So you may write, you're going to take the next SpaceX. And that may not happen. And we're going to be okay with that. You may say, by next year at this time, this is a common one. I'm going to have my perfect soulmate by the end of, maybe you will, maybe you won't, but write it from a perspective of what really calls to you to experience in 2025. You may say, I want to get rid of the soulmate I have now. Any of those things. But it's a letter of intention. It's a letter of, this is how I want to, how I want to feel, what I want to be during 2025. And you write that. Make a nice salutation to yourself, right? You dear, sweet, hot, sexy babe. Like, you may think I'm kidding. I'm really not. Like, write it very lovingly. And then know that you're going to open this. Now, I want to add this little piece of it because I'm really friendly with this. So if this makes you shudder, then this is one of the things that maybe you could feel this evening. That because we had somebody that didn't live to see their letter. And that likelihood is always a possibility. And I'm really good with, you know what? If it's my time, it's my time. But from this perspective, we're going to say, beloved, this is how I spent 2025, and it was whatever you want to say. So I'm going to give you some time to do that. Again, you can, if you so choose, you can keep your letter and take it home with you, or it's kind of exciting. You can address it to yourself and leave it in the back, and we will mail it to you. And you'll get it sometime after Thanksgiving of 2025. And you get to open it and go, you're right, I am a delicious hot babe. Right? You with me? Did y'all keep your pencil?
Yes.
So when you bring your letter to the back, if that's how you choose to do it, then of course we know that you will also leave, because we have to have them for next year. Anyway, I'm going to give you some quiet time. I'm being a little silly, but I want to just say just one more thing, I promise. When I watched you walk up this aisle with what a privilege. What a magnificent privilege it is for me to sit here with you and be a witness to this process. It moves me to the extent I can't even describe it, but I have to share that with you. This is so beautiful and so precious, and I'm honored to serve you with my silly words and my sparkly shoes. But they are fabulous. So it's your time. Write your beautiful letter. Couple more minutes. You can just keep writing, but as an aside, I got a little note that the people online, we have a large online congregation, if you will. So you can, if you choose, send your letter to the office, 1901 North Flagler, and we will then in turn mail it to you as well. So that's your choice. If you want, you can mail your letters to the office and we'll mail them back to you. If you are finished with your letter, if not, just keep going. We are going to ask the ushers to come forward to receive an offering. We encourage you to support the community. David, why don't you come up here and tinkle a little music for us during that? In order to keep this community going, we rely completely on people's donations. So. We would encourage you to do that. And if you're still writing, you can drop a couple hundred in and keep writing. And you online, please donate. There's a big button there that says donate. Anyway, let's receive our offering. Thank you, David. Thank you, ushers. And if you're not quite done yet, just keep writing. We're going to wrap up this event for this evening. Again, thank you so much for being here. I hope it was meaningful for you. Thanks to everyone who participates. You know, Diane, our executive director, if you don't know her, she's in the beautiful blonde there in the back, and she's so magnificent in the way she just keeps this thing going. So let's really thank Diane for that. She does a magnificent amount of work to keep everything in go. And God, she has to deal with me. So can you imagine? Wow. And thank you, Jennifer. I saw Diane, everybody that helped usher, that helped take the collection. Thank you, David, our magnificent music director, who's just incredible. Incredible. And you're going to get to hear Aurora one more time as we wrap up the evening. Thanks, guys in the booth. Yay, Greg and Augie. They're always hidden away up there. But again, it's an absolute honor and privilege to be with all of you. And, you know, does anybody else, like, there's a particular underlying sizzle about 2025? Is anybody else feeling that? Like, there's a lot of doom and gloom. And we live in a world of a lot of doom and gloom. Let's just face it, we do. But we come here because we have a higher vision. We live from a higher perspective. And see, we understand here, we're a meta physical movement. We are bigger than the physical. We understand here that it is cause that gives way to effect. So please hear this. 2025, again, it's an arbitrary. Who makes up these dates and year? You know, really, ultimately, it's all kind of arbitrary, but it's what we use in our culture, and we've used it for centuries. And so we get to use the energy now that is heightened at this time of year. And the end of 2025 is inherent in the beginning. Did you hear what I said? The way you prepare, the way you released this evening, the way you wrote your letter, how you're holding a space of possibility, that's what there are going to be a lot of surprises in 2025, a lot, right? But the way that we hold how life unfolds, how we relate to it, it's everything. And wherever you may be on a political spectrum, when you hear this term, Project 2025, our inner being is Project 2025. We are the causes to our effects. And if you don't like what's happening out there, come to the lens that is within. Change your consciousness and your world will change. Are you with me? Do you get that? Change your consciousness, the world will change. And it's why we gather together, because there is an enormous amount of spiritual power in this room. And when we say, you know what, y'all do what you're going to do. I hear the drone, I watch all the messiness, I see all of that. But I am determining that I am going to show up in 2025 casting light on all of it. Are you in? Because together we can change that, but it has to change in here. And you made a huge start this evening by being here. So all of that stuff, you know, this next song was a phenomena in movie history, and Academy Award winner, and put a Broadway person way up in the stratosphere career-wise. And I never saw the movie that this song is from. I never saw it. But I do understand that when it's talking about, the song is Let It Go. It's not talking about getting rid of anything. It's talking about let your power go. Let it ignite. Let your passion, let your consciousness create a new world within. So don't hold back. Let it go. Aurora.
The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small, and the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break through. No right, no wrong, no rules for me. I'm free. Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand, and here I'll stay. Let the storm rage on. My power flurries through the air into the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. And one thought crystallizes like an icy bliss. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go, let it go. And I'll rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go. That perfect girl is gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.